Today I'm delighted to be sitting here with Mutah, otherwise formerly known as Napoleon. This is Mutah Beale, who is a successful entrepreneur who is from the United States but lives and works here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So Mutah, thank you very much for agreeing to have this interview with me today. It's a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure mine, bro.
Mutah just opened a new coffee shop. It's called 𝗵𝗵𝗍 Cafe. We've been here for 2 days. This man's been working behind the counter, serving coffee from beginning to end. Honestly, man, he did an amazing job. This place was packed. You can go and see the footage on Instagram. It has been packed from beginning to end. So, Mutah, the first thing is,
yes,
I know you, millions of people know you, but a lot of people out there on LinkedIn and other networks might not know you.
For sure.
So, could you tell the viewers who you are, how you grew up, and how you got from where you were to the man that you are today?
Well, I was born and raised in New Jersey. I moved to California, Los Angeles when I was about 15 years old to pursue my career in the music industry. Most who do not know me, I used to be part of a group called the Outlaws that was put together by 𝗃𝗽𝗄𝗽 Shakur. I appeared on over 40, 50 million record sales worldwide, you know. Alhamdulillah, 17 years ago, I accepted the religion of Islam. 9 years ago, I moved to Saudi Arabia. Alhamdulillah.
9 years, huh?
9 years.
Amazing life. Now, one of the things I've always wanted to ask you, even though I've known you on and off for years, was...
For sure, yes.
As an entrepreneur,
yes,
amongst other things,
yes,
did you always have an entrepreneur's mindset, or or is that something that came later in life?
You know what, man? I always been into business, entrepreneurship. It was something that I felt like maybe my father. I hear stories of my father. My father passed away when I was a kid, but I hear stories of him. They said, my aunt told me when my father was like 13 years old, he used to charge the kids in the neighborhood 25 cents just to throw a dart at a balloon that he blew up, that he paid for. You know what I mean? They paid him to blow up his balloon. So he also was an entrepreneur at a young age. You know what I mean? So even when I got into the music industry, when I got my first check that the record companies have to recoup, I took that money and I invested in business. You know what I mean? I had vending machines across apartment buildings, doctor offices in Los Angeles. These were some of the first businesses that I got involved when I was like 17, 18 years old.
Amazing.
You know, so I've always been trying to do business. And majority of them fell. But I'm the type of person I never give up. Alhamdulillah.
That's extremely interesting. So the majority of them fell.
Of course.
What advice would you give to somebody out there, regardless of their country that they're in, based on all of your experience? What would be if you had to give somebody advice on somebody who wants to start their own business, no matter what it is, what are some of the things that that person needs to have? What type of mindset does that
think you got to have, like, you know what I mean? Of course, educating yourself, equipping yourself with the proper education for whatever business you're going to get involved in. But you got to have something inside of you that say, you know what, man, that I'm not afraid of I fail. You know what I mean? Even if I do fail, I'm going to try again and I'm going to try again. If that doesn't work, I'm going to try another business. Don't never give up. Entrepreneurship, if I could say what an entrepreneur means to me, it's just a person who don't give up. And if you hear stories, for example, Starbucks, if I'm not mistaken, they got turned away over 100 times from banks because nobody thought that idea was going to be successful. Starbucks, you know what I mean? They got turned away. They didn't give up. Amazing. 200 sometime, if I'm not mistaken. So don't never give up. You know what I mean?
And speaking of Starbucks, who is Starbucks?
Yeah. Wow, bro.
Your coffee's been so good, I don't even know who Starbucks are anymore, bro.
Appreciate that, bro.
No, that's brilliant. Take us through, in general, what's an average day for you? Because I look at you, you got so many obligations, you have so many followers on Instagram, and people just, you got so many things. You got your businesses, you got 𝗀𝗵𝗄𝗍𝗍. By the way, 𝗀𝗵𝗄𝗍𝗍, if you ever come to Riyadh, 𝗀𝗵𝗄𝗍𝗍 has got to be the best brisket and ribs restaurant in town. It's getting amazing reviews now, right? Did I describe it right? Would that be the right way to describe it?
We get a lot of good feedback. You know, there's a lot of Americans here that I didn't even know was this many Americans. That I'm talking about some of them deep from the South, and they walk in there like I'm going to with the down South accent, and they say, man, we know ribs. We tell you right, and all of them walk out with something positive. Majority of them, alhamdulillah. Thank God.
So what's an average day like for you? How would you, the average day?
You know, but now that I open up the shop, I probably start staying up a little longer than the average day for me, you know what I mean? But I usually sleep 9:30, 10 o'clock, I'm in the bed, 5 a.m. I'm awake, and I'm just pretty much taking my kids to school, hit the gym, you know what I mean? Right after that, hit the gym and just start my day, you know what I mean?
Right. And then so you have to balance all the various obligations and requests.
For sure, for sure.
Last question.
Yes.
for those people who are outside of Saudi Arabia,
yes,
who don't really know much about Saudi. Like, for example, my mother and my father, they're not Muslim, and they didn't know anything about living in Saudi Arabia. They were very scared to come here for a long time. And once they actually came here, they loved it, you know? But a lot of people that are thinking about doing business, they don't really know what to expect. What would you say to somebody outside of Saudi Arabia they can expect if they were to visit Saudi, if they were to do business here? What could somebody expect?
You know, Saudi, most people that never been to Saudi, unfortunately, due to the media portraying a bad image of Saudi Arabia, when they actually come to the country, majority of them are blown away. And I'm sure your parents are surprised and shocked because the culture, the people is very safe, the people very generous, very hospitable. And I think even now, when it comes to the business side of Saudi Arabia, they changed so much where they're making it easy for foreigners to invest in their country. And they scaled, you know, they, mashallah, record-breaking numbers when it comes to changing some of the laws. No matter where you at business, it can be difficult sometimes, you know what I mean? You might, when it comes to trying to open up a business, things that you might not foreseen, obstacles that you might not foreseen might disappear. Like, for example, this coffee shop. You know, we signed the rent 2 years ago. And we was 2 years ago. And it took us this long to open the doors because obstacles came in our way that we didn't expect. You know what I mean? So in certain countries you gotta be prepared for these things. You know what I mean? But I like Saudi Arabia because they change it. And they trying to make it easy for foreigners to invest in their country. And that's a good thing. The government wants you to invest in this country. You know what I mean?
So you got the support of the government and the people. How do you find the people? I mean, living here as an American, and
you know what I mean?
How do you find the people?
Saudis, to me, from my experience, is some of the most generous people. Mashallah, tabarakallah. You know what I mean? Like some of the most very generous people. You know what I mean? I always say that Saudi Arabia, the good outweighs the bad in this country. You know what I mean? The people, majority of the people upon khair, alhamdulillah.
That's been my experience as well. Nowhere's perfect.
Of course.
But I mean, there's so
beautiful,
there's so much
laid back. You know what I mean? Relaxed.
Safe.
You know what I mean? What can you say? Like I look at my 14-year-old son, for example. I got my oldest son is 21 in LA, but my 14-year-old son, I look at him, I'll be like, Subhanallah. When I was his age, I was selling drugs. He living in Saudi Arabia. He don't have to look over his shoulder. He don't have to hustle. He don't. Alhamdulillah, he can come home. He can study. He can do his homework. That's a blessing from Allah. You know what I mean? Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. I'm going to ask you one last question. It'll be a short one.
Yes.
With everything you've done, and you're continuing to do things, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Inshallah. Where do you see yourself? You know, because you don't strike me as somebody that's just stopping. You always seem to be moving.
I'm always moving. Okay. Inshallah. You know, if I'm alive, inshallah, because as Muslims, we always say God willing. You know, I want to try to continue, you know, my brand of coffee. I want to really be able to push it. Of course, my clothing line 33, we have a clothing line that I really want to kind of, I wouldn't say it was on the back, we pushed it to the back, but I had to do a lot of focus on this, and we had to do a lot of help with smoky beards. Now I'm going to try to be able to bring my clothing line even over here to Saudi Arabia, and also the coffee shop, man. I really want to, the coffee business is a whole nother world. You know what I mean? The more that I really, like, learn about this business, I'm surprised that it has this much in-depth knowledge of the coffee business. And then it make me respect the baristas. When I started learning more about the coffee, I have a whole new respect for baristas and the farmers. You know what I mean? So, and I just want to continue to learn. Maybe one day I have my own farm, inshallah.
We hope so. We hope so. So we can expect maybe more coffee from you. Definitely your clothing brand. You know, is going to be
and the podcast.
Oh, the podcast.
Man, I'm trying to do the podcast.
We're going to be collaborating on that together. Inshallah, we're going to be doing that.
I'm going to invite you on my podcast.
And likewise, you'll be coming on mine.
For sure, man. One of my first guests on the podcast, inshallah.
Brilliant. Mutah, thank you very much indeed, brother. I appreciate it. I know you stayed there very late, man. I appreciate it. You know?